September 8th, 2020. Started out to be a nice day. Wally and I took a walk up to the barbecue restaurant, looked around, and as we walked, the longer it took, the colder it got. Wind started coming up. And this was about noon, so we headed back to the house. About 1:30, it started raining pretty hard. Clouds were coming in. And then it started to snow, and it was really pretty. Big old flakes were coming down, and we could tell it was a very wet snow. We had heard on the news that there was a chance of having a lot of snow in southern Colorado, where we are at South Fork. Well, it just kept snowing and snowing. It started building up, and it wasn't long till a couple hours we had a couple inches of snow on the ground sticking to the trees, and it was a very wet snow, where normally the Colorado snows later in the year are very dry and powdery. But this was a wet, heavy snow. It started building up on all the tree branches. It snowed all through the night. And by the next morning, there was a lot of snow. We had about 9 inches here at our house, but we heard that other places around the area close by were at least 12 inches of snow. But that's when the tree branches started to break under the weight of that wet snow. We would hear it crash, pop, pop, crash, and snow would rise up. And it got to be quite a mess because we had so many branches break all around because, of course, the trees had not lost their leaves. So the snow piling up on that with all the leaves made it even heavier, and the narrow-leaf cottonwood that we have here along the Rio Grande and the aspen trees are of a weak type wood, so the branches just started breaking all over. And by the next day, there was branches down everywhere. There was one huge branch that had fallen across the road behind us so that people couldn't even drive around. But neighbors started getting out and pulling the tree branches out of the way. And Wally was outside, and I said, "Wally, why don't you pull the truck away from under the tree," because we were right under a big branch full of snow. And he said, "Oh, yeah, I think I'll do that." So he started to get in the car, and all of a sudden, crash, boom, a big, huge limb fell right in the truck. But as Wally heard that crack, he just dove into the truck so that he wasn't sure where that limb was going to hit. Luckily, it didn't hit us. As far as we know, no one had any damage to their house. However, a lot of people lost their canopies that they had over their ATVs. And so some of those were damaged, but that's about all, other than the debris we had to pick up. The city came in the third day, and they sent some crews out to remove a lot of the big limbs, and they even came in our backyard, which was just covered with limbs. And some of them were bigger than Wally and I could handle, so the city crew moved them out and around to the front. So everybody had huge piles of debris in front of their cabin, and then the city came out and picked everything up, and everything turned out just fine. After that nice snow, it just turned into a beautiful day, and the rest of the week was nice and sunny and warm. And as of now, everybody's cleaned everything up. So you never know what to expect in Colorado when it gets to be September or even late in the spring. Snow can happen anytime here, but that's part of the unique part of this part of the country. It's a changeable climate. We love it very much, and we hope we'll be back next year.